Hi, this is Peter from the DJ Podcast. In this video, we're going to look at how to split up your DJ mix into tracks. This is great if you want to burn your mix to a CD and you want to have all of the individual tracks with their artist and title name in the metadata. Now, there are a couple of different ways that you can do this, but I'm going to be showing you how to do it in Audacity, which is a free audio editor application. So what we want to do is split up the mix into all of the individual tracks. And Audacity makes it really easy by using the labels function in the software. So right now I have one audio track with my hour-long mix. It helps if you listen to the mix beforehand and find out where all of the tracks start and stop. So the first thing that we need to do is go ahead and create a new track. But it's not actually going to be an audio track, it's going to be for labels. So we're going to go up to the Tracks menu, then we're going to go to Add New, and then we're going to select Label Track. You'll see that that new label track pops up underneath the audio track, and it doesn't have anything in it. That's because we need to go ahead and actually add a label to it. So to create a label, what you want to do is select the region in the mix for your very first track. So I'm just going to go ahead and guess that it's about 7 minutes, so it's about a little bit after the 5-minute mark. I'm just going to go and click and drag on the region of my audio track, and then I'm going to go ahead and press Apple B. It would be Control B on a PC. So now we have a label in that label track that shows us that region of time. Now when you're creating these labels, it can help if you give them a name. This is going to be important for when you export them later. So to rename a label, you simply need to click on the box above the label, and then you can name it something like Track 1. Going forward, you can name additional tracks, Track 2, Track 3, and so forth. You of course can name them whatever you like as long as it helps you remember which tracks come after each other. So now that we have our first label created, we're going to go ahead and create another one. So what I'm going to do is put my mouse right over where the first label ends, then I'm going to go ahead and drag out the second region for my second track. And again, I'll press Apple B or Control B to create a new label. So now that you know how to add labels for the different track regions, you're going to want to go through the entirety of your mix before moving on. So now I have my entire mix divided by the different labels, and it's time to actually export our mix. So I'm going to go up to the File menu, and then instead of clicking Export like I normally would, I'm going to go down to Export Multiple. On this pop-up window, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you have the correct export format. Since we're burning this to a CD, we're going to be using the Wave Microsoft signed 16-bit PCM option. Then underneath that, you can select the export option, which is really just the folder that Audacity is going to save all of these audio files to. Under Split Files Based On, you're going to want to make sure that you leave it as the default of labels, as that will export each of those labels as a different audio file. Before I mention how you might want to rename each label Track 1, Track 2, Track 3, and so forth. This is important for the Name Files option. If you already numbered your tracks, you can simply leave it as the default using label/track name. If you didn't include the track number in your label names, you can use the second or third option to have Audacity automatically number the different audio files. Now before Audacity will actually export the audio files, you're given the option of editing the metadata. This will allow you to add the artist and track information for each individual audio file or each track in your mix. This is another reason why it helps to name your different labels. Otherwise, it might be hard when you're actually editing the metadata of each individual track to remember where you are in the mix. Once you finish adding your metadata for all of the regions of your mix, Audacity will go ahead and export multiple audio files to the folder of your choosing. Once the audio files are done exporting, you can take them into your favorite CD burning application to create a CD that has multiple tracks on them as opposed to one long audio file.